Greetings, Inquisitors. Welcome to the Holocron. This is the week 142 update for the Darth Loquitur account, and man, is it going to be a fun update this week. I update this account's progress every week, go through all the character ships, mods, datacrons, all the stuff I'm doing for the account so people can follow along. Please remember, as we get started, use your like saber, take out that like button, kill it, slice it, dice it, slash it, use force lightning, whatever you got to do, get that like button out of here. Alright, let's take a look at the account progress for this week. Like I said, I think it's going to be a pretty interesting week. Let's start out with relics, plural, hitting 2 of them. I figured I could get 2 this week, and we did end up getting 2 relics. I'm just going to take these guys to the relic level needed for the Jabba journey. So with Gamorrean Guard, that's relic 3. And with the Tusken, I'm going to take him just to the relic 4. Now, I may want to take these guys up to higher relics later for the crate raid or for a team or something, but for right now, trying to conserve materials, not use up anything I don't have to on these less desirable characters. I don't have a Tusken team up and running yet, for example, so we'll just take him to the minimum, leave him there, take him off of favorites. And then I go in here and I take a look, and I feel like the opposite is true for this Skiff Lando. He's going to be an important part of the team, and he's going to be an important part of the crate raid. I'm going to probably want him at relic 8. And I sit here and I look at the relic 8 button for a long time, and I'm going to click it, and then I'm not going to click it, and then I just sit here staring at it for a little while. And I figure I got to get Jabba in the account and make sure that he goes to relic 8 first, and then I'll start relicing 8 some of these other characters. I think I have almost enough for 2 relic 8s. So if I get enough for a second relic 8, then I'll go ahead and I'll apply that to another character. Managed to farm up another star for a vet over the week, splitting my cantina energy. So got a star done, but also farmed a whole bunch of signal data. Here I'm working on the Darth Revan journey. I do need to start focusing up on the Jedi Master Luke characters because I'm planning to go right from Jabba into Jedi Master Luke. But I also am close on this DR journey here, and I figure it's probably best to get these characters up and running. So I go ahead and take some upgrades on these characters, get their skills started. And everybody's 7 stars, and I'm close to being able to be where I need to be for the event. So we'll probably be doing the event within the next couple weeks. So I get these characters started, get the skills on them, take them up to level 85. And later on, I will put mods on them. And I'll just put garbage mods on them, leftover mods for now. I may need to remod them for the event. But the other thing that is possible now, here we take a gear tier on BB-8, so I did have some leftover gear, and he's a character that I use sometimes and will need more of in the future, so we go ahead and work on BB-8. But to get back to my point, we are going to work on the Jedi Master Luke journey right after. I feel like I'll have enough time to get those characters where they need to be to get relicked, but with these journeys, in the past, you've always had to make a decision going for Malak, whether you're going to, invest more in the character's gear or in their Zetas and try to get them up to the right level for the Malak journey later on. And now we really don't have to do that anymore, right? The gear is obviously the easy part. The Zetas are more precious now with the access that we have to gear. So while I'm working on the JML stuff, there will come a point where I'll have those characters at gear 12, and then I'll be able to finish off these Revan characters. And I'll just wait until I'm pretty much ready for Malak, and then I'll do Revan and Malak at the same time. And that way I won't have to remod these characters 5 or 6 times. So that's the idea that I had, and we'll get there. All right, let's talk about mods for this week. So we got a whole bunch of mods. What I did over the past week was I farmed 3 refreshes every day on mods, and then I switched over to slicing materials, and I did the 100 cost refreshes. And over the course of the week, I did lose crystals. I'm only getting about 200 crystals a day to spend on that, so I'm going to make a modification to that. But I farmed up half mods, half slicing materials for the week, so I got a good bunch of slicing materials. So here we got a bunch of grays to work on, really a lot for this week. So we're going to work through them. Here's the first one. We hit 11 speed. We take it to purple. We hit protection. And I'm not willing to click for, like with all of these, I'm not going to take them up any higher than that if they don't hit the 3rd speed until I know I'm working on the best mod. That one only hit 9 speed, but it was worth a second click to see if I could get more speed. Here's 9 speed again. This one is potency on a potency mod, so we're willing to invest in it a little more here. And we did hit the potency, so 9 speed is not great, but it is a potency mod with potency on it, so we like that. We lock it up so we don't accidentally sell it in the future, because it will have value on some character somewhere. All right, here we go in. We hit 6 speed on this one. We hit 6 speed on it again. Then we hit 5 speed, and we take the click to gold here. Here we go. Let's see what we get. Bam! 6 speed. I put that in slow motion. So it's 28 speed, and when we take it to 6 dots, it goes to 29 speed. And of course, we're going to lock that mod down. So that is now officially the fastest mod I have on the whole Loquitur account. That was a tremendous hit, and hitting it on the natural before we were even slicing at 6 dots is crazy. That is absolutely crazy statistics. Now we're into the 4-speed mods, and we got a bunch of them. They're 4-speed, but they have a bunch of percent stats or flat offense. I consider flat offense a very good stat, so where we see these flat offense statistics, I like those. Here we hit 9 speed again, and I take another stab at it and miss. Trying to get a little pickier now because I see that even though I had a ton of slicing materials, I'm going through them fast. With those first couple hits that we had going all the way up, we've used up a lot of slicing materials. Here's a defense mod arrow with health primary, and even though it doesn't turn out quite like we want, I'm definitely going to lock that mod. There's characters that can use a defensive stat with a health primary for sure. Here we hit 15 speed, and now we're going to go again. We hit 20 speed, take it to 6 dots, and we'll take it to blue. We don't hit speed. I do a calibration on it here because I'm rolling flat protection, and I just want to see if I can get something better. And it goes over to percent protection, so that is better, but I thought maybe I could save myself some of those precious slicing materials if I could hit on a calibration, but I didn't get it. And then we hit 6 speed again, and we get a 27 speed mod. So massive mod hits, a 29 speed and a 27 speed in the same week. So now we're starting to run low on slicing materials. We're trying to get a little more picky about which ones we select. We're looking for a good mod with good substats. And here we get one with a bunch of percent substats, and we run entirely out of slicing materials at this point. So that's going to be it for the gray slicing for this week. We didn't manage to keep up. Even at 3 and 3, we didn't manage to keep up with slicing materials. But again, we got some pretty good statistics, and typically we wouldn't have gotten used up so many slicing materials unless we got such good hits. So that's nice. In the 1 speed, there was quite a few mods here on 1 speed that I think are worth working on. I'm going through these mods so fast that with these triangles that have good stats on them and crosses that have good main stats, I'm more willing to slice those than I have been in the past because, yeah, I got a opportunity to get those into the account, and I'm needing some of those, especially the triangles and the crosses with good stats on them. All right, so here we're just going to mod all of those Darth Revan characters. And again, we're using leftover mods, so we're using the stuff that has like 10, 11 speed, some things with like 12 or 13 speed on 3 rolls that we're not going to continue working on. So they're leftover mods. They're not quite good enough for me to want to work on, but they're good enough to keep and put on these characters. All right, working on Datacrons. We've got percent health for light side characters and dark side. The dark side one, we took up a level, got crit damage. The light side one, we took up a level, we got crit damage. And then we're going to start another Datacron new here, and we'll go for something better on light side, but we really don't get what we want here. We re-roll it a couple times, and we end up... I end up taking the dark side evasion, and then I'm out of materials for the week. So that's it for Datacrons. I looked through ships. There really wasn't anything that I wanted to do in ships. And then I decided I'm going to put in my Bronzium wiring manufacturing in here, and we're going to take a look at me making slicing materials for the week. So again, I said everything that was over 400, I'm going to click until it goes down below 400. And here, we're going to knock everything down below 20. And then in the middle, everything was already below 50, so we didn't take anything out of the middle there. And we get 134 Bronzium wirings according to our new metrics. Whenever I do this, I always go to chromium next, and I make sure that I manufacture any of those armors that I can before I go back to carbonite, because some of the materials in carbonite are used up in making those ball armors. So I always want to make sure that I'm using those up. Here we'll knock down all this stuff to under 100, and we'll keep enough of it in the account that we make sure that we always have that stuff for leveling up. Since I already put gear on characters, then I take whatever Mark III projectors are left over, combine those up, and scavenge them out. For electrium conductors, on this account, I'm still in relatively good shape with some of these Gear 12 pieces. So we can convert a few of those over to electrium conductors, keep it going over here. For impulse detectors, I'm trying to get to like 60 of these, and I think about, you know, taking a bunch of materials down, and in the end, I just take what I can and leave about 30 so that I have enough for the next character if I need it. So I make 4 more of those, and then that's it. And that's going to wrap up what I'm able to do with the account for week 142. But 2 relic characters and 2 massive mod hits really makes it a fun week for me. All right, so week 142, galactic power is up to 6.62 million, 40,000 we added with those new relics. That brings me up to 83 relic characters, still at 95 Zetas. We've just been banking Zetas for several weeks now, trying to get up to 120 materials so that we'll be able to put all the Zetas on Jabba when we get him. 12 Omicrons still in the account, and Squad Arena JMK is top 100. We've gone back to the JMK team, and I'm just working my way back up so that when I'm able to work with Jabba, I'll be, you know, up toward the top already. I did get quite a bit of practice with my Jedi Knight Luke team working against SLKR teams. I did get some opportunities to play with my Fennec Shan team against Lord Vader teams. So I've gotten a little bit of practice with that stuff for Grand Arenas, and at some point, you know, enough is enough. And we got to get back to getting some better loot out of there for buying gear. So we're on our way back up. In Fleet Arena, Profundity still gets me top 5, you know, first place every day when I can play it. Grand Arena, Kyber 1. And the target will be to go ahead and relic that Jawa for week 143. Now, I do feel like when I relic that Jawa in week 143, that'll be about the time that we're able to farm Chrysanthemum, but it'll be still a little bit early. So it's going to be like a 2 or 3 week gap before I'll have Chrysanthemum ready to relic. So what I'm going to do is work on some relic 8s for the Jabba team. And we'll see if we can establish those Relic 8 characters before we even get Jabba. And then while we're working on unlocking him, we'll get all the materials to get him to Relic 8 as well. So that'll start to be my focus after I get this Jawa done. Then we'll continue, of course, to pile on the Bronzium wiring with the hopes that if I do a couple Relic 8s, then I can roll into the Jedi Master Luke relics and just knock a bunch of those out. And have Jedi Master Luke pretty quickly after without having to take more of a pause. So that's the idea. Still farming 000 and BT1, working on Embo to add him to the Jabba team later, and then farming up some ships. Of course, the event is on right now for light side, so I'm only farming light side stuff while we really focus on getting all the light side free loot that we can get. Even if, I mean, in the case of the Loquitur account, I do have the Sith Empire Trooper at 7 stars now, but the free shards going to the shard shop are too good to pass up, so we're only farming light side during the event. In Fleet, we're doing the TIE Defender, Sith Fighter, and Marin. In Cantina, we're still splitting. We're going to continue to split between Signal Data and Vets. For Mod Energy, I'm going to try something different next week. I'm going to take the extra refreshes down to 2 of the 100 cost refreshes per day instead of 3. And what I'm going to do is same thing that I did this week. We're going to do mods 3 times a day, slicing materials twice a day with the 100 cost refreshes. And even though I went through all of the slicing materials that I got from last week, you know, in one sitting, I do think that it still feels like I should be farming more mods than slicing materials. But I do have more sliceable mods that I saved and locked down this week. So maybe as I go through next week and see how that develops, maybe I'll switch over and start doing more slicing refreshes. Anyway, we're trying to find a balance for this mid-game stuff. The refresh strategy will be 5 refreshes on mod energy, 3 on the other kinds. And we'll continue to go forward doing that. It doesn't really allow me to save crystals for Conquest refreshes or anything like that, but mods are really, I think, it's what I want to work on in this account, because with the characters developing so much faster, I just don't want so many good quality characters in the account and not have at least decent mods to put on them, which is, I feel like, kind of what's been happening. Sith Eternal, for example, just to get a couple other characters modded where I want, I've had to sort of degrade his mods and give him B tier mods instead of A or S tier mods even. And, you know, he's on the, yeah, he's on the outs really, because he's not that effective in Grand Arena anymore. He's not that effective in Conquest, and I find that I'm taking mods off of a Galactic Legend, which is, I don't think that should be the case, right? We got to have enough mods that the Galactic Legends get the mods that they deserve. All right, so Jabba, JML, and then Tier 2, when we're working on JML, we are going to finish out the crate raid during that cycle. And again, like I said, I'm going to work on some Relic 8s now. We're still looking toward that Daka, Malgus and Malak. We're going to try to get them unlocked. Darth Revan, make Malak a relic for the Darth backup. We'll say this again. We got to get Darth Revan unlocked, get Malak unlocked, start working on him so that we can put that team together. And we will probably relic all 3 of those characters at some point, whether it's during the JML journey or after. All right, so that is the planning. And then these 2 mods, what a great week. I mean, that makes the 6th mod I have in this account at 27 speed, but the only mod I think I've ever built at 29 speed. Been playing the game for 3 years now, 3.5 years, and I've ran 3 different accounts, and I think this is the first time I've hit a 29 speed mod, so that feels really good. And you know, you guys get to see it happening, and you can see the clicks, and I think that's pretty cool. So I like the statistics. Somebody had a 30 speed mod one time, and I said it was a 1 in a million mod. So I thought I would do the math and just kind of show you guys how the statistics works. So in a base mod, for the base mod to have 5 speed in the first place, it's a 1 in 12 chance. There's 12 different statistics that a mod could get. I'm sorry, 16 different statistics that a mod can get. So it's 25% chance that the mod will have speed on any given stat line. And then once you roll speed, there is a 33% chance that it's a 5, right? Because it could be a 3, a 4, or a 5. It has to be a 5. So there's only a 33% chance that it's a 5. On the second roll, we have to get a 25% chance. There's 4 different stats that could be hit. So there's only a 25% chance that the slice will actually hit speed. And then out of that 25%, there's only a 25% chance that it's a 6. because again, it could be a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. So it's 1 out of 4 that it's a 6. Same thing for the 3rd and 4th roll. And then the 5th roll, in this case for a 29 speed, was a 5. So there's still a 25% chance that we slice it, and there's a 50% chance that it's a 5 or a 6. So in this case, it gives us a 50% chance. So if you multiply all of those percents together, you get this very low number. And it turns out that it's a 1 in 400,000 chance to get that 29 speed. And I understand that getting a 29 speed and in the end game, like being able to get a 29 speed mod at all, it changes with 6-dot slicing and attenuation and calibration and all that stuff. But in this case, you guys saw the true statistics, right? We rolled the 1 in 400,000 mod on its way up to 28 speed, and then 29 speed, of course, when you take it to 6 dots. So if you actually hit a 29 speed that then turns into a 30 speed mod when you take it to 6 dots, that's a 1 in 800,000 chance to get that. So somebody had a 30 speed mod in their account one time when I was doing account review, and I said it was a 1 in a million mod, right? So literally the statistical chance of getting it, naturally on the first 5 rolls is 1 in a million. 1 in 800,000, close enough. Anyway, I think these kinds of statistics are fun, but that's what you guys are seeing. And maybe I've seen 400,000 mods in my time playing Swigo, but that was the one. That was the one I hit it on. All right, Bronzium Tracking. So we've been tracking the Bronzium wiring for the last few weeks, and I had this week where I made a whole bunch of Bronzium wiring. It seemed like a lot. So I started tracking to see if we could get that much Bronzium wiring every week. And it turns out that most weeks are less than that, and it starts to settle in somewhere around 150 that I'm getting a week. So you see in 140 I generated 201 of them. In week 141 only 134. And then in week 142 I showed my homework, so we did 134 of them there. I had also gotten 20 of them somewhere from event loot or something. So when I started off doing my relic clicks, you see I ended the prior week at 268. And the first click that I did on making my character's relics, it was 288. So I got 20 from somewhere. So we ended up with a total of 154 gained for the week and 260 used. Of course, we built 2 relic characters, and then we did take Skiff Lando from 5 to 7. So we burned through a ton of that Bronzium wiring. We used a lot more than we gained, but we still have 162, so we're in good shape for being able to work with the Jawa, and we're on track for, whenever we get Crescent and Jabba to be able to work with them. So interesting. I'm just keeping track of it, and maybe you guys are interested in that too. We're also going to move the Loquitur account over to the Phantom Foundlings. Phantom Foundlings, in the end, I've said in the past that guilds are really going to have to make a decision what they're going to do on the crate raid. And some guilds are going to want to really push participation in the crate raid because it's kind of like you either accept the 125 box or you go at least for the 130 box, eventually for the 265 box if you can. And the Foundlings Guild did decide to push that crate participation and go for the higher box. And of course, Loquitur is building Jabba the Hutt and is planning to build for the crate raid. My contribution's already up around 2 million. Even before getting Jabba, I do have a Mandalorians team that gets us about 700,000. I have a Hutt Cartel team that gets, maxes out at 1.2. So we're already doing well even before we get Jabba. Then when we add Jabba to the account, we'll split off the Hutt Cartel teams. And I'll have 3 teams up and running on Loquitur. We're going to plan to get a 2.7 with the Jabba team. We'll try to build up another Hutt Cartel team. If I can get 2.7, that's great, but maybe I'll get the 1.8 out of that, something like that at first. And then I still have that Mandalorian team that I can build up if I need more participation. But certainly I'm looking for this account to eventually down the road be contributing around 6 million to the raid. So it makes sense that I'm going to stick with the part of the alliance that's planning to do the crate push. So we're going to move that account over this week, and next time we do an update, we'll be in the Phantom Foundlings. All right, that's going to wrap it up for me for week 142. Thank you all for stopping by, hanging out. Appreciate all you guys. Remember, hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Subscribe to the channel to watch more stuff like this and see more updates in the future. Use the notification bell if you want to know when I'm doing my online streams. We'll do GACs. And, of course, the GACs are interactive. That's where I get to chat with all y'all and talk about, speculate, think about account building, things like that. Hope to see you in there. And as always, the link to the Discord is in the description of the Holocron down below. Click on that link. Join us on the Discord. Completely wonderful Discord to be part of. I don't know how much I can even brag about this thing. We've got so many cool people over there, experienced players willing to help out new players asking questions. And, you know, a lot of lurkers just sitting in the background, kind of watching what other people say, learning a lot about the game. So that's fine, too, if you want to do that. No problem with that. Hope to see you over there. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next Holocron.